Welcome everybody. My name is Connor Poovey. I'm a painting, drawing, and printmaking major, and this is my portfolio presentation. Thank you very much. So, at an early age, my parents got a divorce, and I took on a lot of responsibilities. At that time, any free time I had was what I spent drawing and painting and just doing anything creative. So that was really where my art began. Um, At that time, it was much more of an escape, but as I got older, it definitely transformed into a passion. So as I got older, my inspirations grew and my art became much more than what was going on at home. Some of my inspirations include the list that you see to the left. Three of particular interests are my passion for nature, psychology, and my personal hero, Steve Irwin. A lot of people ask me why I like Steve Irwin so much. Truth is just because he was so honest and earnest about who he was, and he was so true about animal conservation, and that's something that I really have an interest in and a love for, and that's something that you'll see showcased in my artwork. The themes and concepts of my previous work and my current work include environmentalism, psychology, recycling, and education. The work you see to the right is a lithography print showcasing Disappearing Act, which is meant to illustrate the nature of environmental loss, that even something as large and as powerful as an alligator can disappear due to loss of environment. The next few slides, including plot, will showcase the ideas of environmentalism, psychology, and recycling that I mentioned before. In a lot of the pieces, you'll see stenciling effect that is created by found objects of wire mesh, styrofoams, uh, plastic, netting, etc. Additionally, all the pieces involve nature and its chaotic relationship with the ever-changing urban world around it. I'm going to, for the most part, speed through these in order to get to my current works. And now we're at my current work. So my current work started with my artist statement, which was exploring the emotional and psychological toll that environmental Florida landscapes endure under the calamity of urban construction. In this, I'm using mixed media compositions to represent the conflicting roles between human intrusion and the natural environments that they collide in. My process was semi-simple, but also very complicated. I used a lot of stencils, spray paints, uh, found objects including tapes, gloves, wire meshing, styrofoams, etc. In this slide is some of the makeshift areas that I created in order to spray paint some of my images. This makeshift table was set up for Corona, for the quarantine, and this just was kind of me figuring things out. So Yield is the first piece that I worked on. This was a street sign piece that showcases a narrative landscape in which the environment is 75% organic, meaning there's lots of living creatures, plants, rocks. It's very bright, it's very colorful, but the remainder, 25%, has the slow intrusion of urban construction vehicles. Stomp is the counterpart to that piece, where the 75% in this work is taken up by the urban construction equipment, and the remainder 25% is the leftover scraps that nature has to contend with and try and live on. This piece uses a lot of the found objects I mentioned before. It has some of the styrofoam to create the rock features. It has the wire mesh to create the actual like taping striped bars that I have across the works. So both of these pieces together become street signs, and collectively they represent the physical tools used in order to separate those spaces. A lot of street cones and street signs. The next work is called Chopped. This is a simple wooden frame that works as a shadow box. In it, I have hand-drawn images of a heron, a white-tipped deer, a alligator, and a Florida panther. The image is called chopped because most of these animals have been cut in half and in pieces to go with its counterpart, screwed. So additionally, I'm using the same images, and in this, it's supposed to represent the chaotic nature of the landscape that these animals are involved in and the sort of juxtaposition between the two worlds that they're living in. So both works can actually be combined and connected in multiple realms. I'll show you that next. So the one on the left you can see connects via the blue heron, where the bottom box has the bottom half, top box has the top half, and that creates one single composition. Then the image to the right is the alligator. You get the top jaw on one box, the bottom jaw on the next box. That creates another composition. Additionally, you get the combination of the front and back half of the black panther, or the Florida panther, I mean. And finally, we have the white-tipped deer with the same concept. So these are the final pieces of my portfolio. In the future, I hope to continue my work in environmentalism, working with local parks, even hopefully the Jacksonville Zoo or other zoos, and I hope to continue my work educating people and learning about the effects of urban construction in your own backyard. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you very much.